Chapter 8, Part 1, Using the Harmonic Minor Scale. The harmonic minor scale is yet another tool for improvisation. The beauty of this scale is that just like the melodic minor scale, it is made up of 7 modes. If you remember your old college music theory days, the formula for the harmonic minor scale is shown below. It's like a natural minor scale where the 3rd and the 6th are still lowered, but now the 7th is raised, both ascending and descending. Here are the 7 modes of the harmonic minor scale. Mode 1, the harmonic minor, or source. It is spelled C, D, E flat F, G, A flat B, C, and it works very well over C minor with a major 7th. Mode 2, called the Locrian natural 13, can be spelled D, E flat F, G, A flat B, C, D. This works great over half diminished chords or fully diminished 7th chords. Mode 3, the Ionian sharp 5, spelled E flat F, G, A flat B, C, D, E flat. This works well over major 7th chords with a sharp 5. Mode 4, the Dorian sharp 4, spelled F, G, A flat B, C, D, E flat F. This works well over minor 7th and half diminished chords. Mode 5, the Mixolydian flat 9, flat 13, otherwise known as a Phrygian natural 3. This is spelled out as G, A flat B, C, D, E flat F, G. And this works well over dominant 7th augmented chords, as well as G7 flat 9 chords. Mode 6, the Lydian sharp 9. This is spelled A flat B, C, D, E flat F, G, A flat. It works well over major 7th chords and minor chords with a major 7th. Mode 7, the altered dominant diminished 7th. This is spelled B, C, D, E flat F, G, A flat B. This works really well over fully diminished 7th chords. Okay, coming up for you now are all the harmonic minor scales and their corresponding modes. Using the modes of the harmonic minor scale in various situations. There are some really cool uses for substituting harmonic minor scales over regular chords. Number 1, you can use the harmonic minor scale over the tonic chord if it's a 1 minor in minor key. An example would be if you're in C minor and you have a 1 minor chord in C minor, then you could use the C harmonic minor scale. Number 2, you can replace a 2 minor 7 chord, such as a D minor 7, with the D minor 7 flat 5 chord, which will become Locrian 13 mode 2. This would be spelled D, E flat F, G, A flat B, C, D. The harmonic minor scale will work very well over the major 3 chord in major chord progressions. You could use the same relative root method as described earlier. If the progression moved from C major to E7, in other words, a major 1 to a major 3, you could play a harmonic minor over the E7 chord. If you want to keep the root as the major scale, use the harmonic minor's 3rd mode, major Ionian sharp 5. Step 4. Over the 5-7 chord, you could use the harmonic minor scale as the host key over the 5-7 chord in a minor key. Example, if the passage is in A minor, then you can use the A harmonic minor scale over the E7 or 5-7 chord. Step 5. Playing the harmonic minor scale over the 5 chord in major keys is also a great way to spice up the harmonic sound. This technique was actually used in the Baroque, Classical, and Romantic periods of music history. There are two ways you can do this. First, this is to play the harmonic minor scale on the same root as the major key. It is the same approach as the minor key 5/7. It just resolves to major instead. So an example could be, if you're in C major, play C harmonic minor. An example would be, if you're in C major, play C harmonic minor for the 5/7 chord, G7. Okay, the second part of this, B. For the second option, you can use the harmonic minor scale from the relative minor position of the major scale over the 5 chord. Example, if the song is in C major, the relative minor key is in A minor. We can thus use the A harmonic scale for the 5/7 in C major. Another example would be if the song was in E flat major, the relative minor would be C minor, so then we could use the C harmonic minor scale for the 5/7 chord. Okay, step 6. You can use the fifth mode of the harmonic minor scale, which is Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13, to replace a major 5/7 chord. Example, if the chord is a G7, you could use the G harmonic minor scale mode 5, spelled G, A flat, B, C, D, E flat, F, G. Step 7. For added spice in your playing, you can also replace a major 7th chord with the Ionian sharp 5, which is mode 3, from the harmonic minor scale. Example would be, if you have an E flat major 7 chord, you could use the Ionian sharp 5/3, spelled E flat F, G, A flat B, C, D, E flat. This will give you the E flat major 7 sharp 5 chord. Other common uses for the harmonic minor scale. Number 1. When you have a 2-5-1 progression in a minor key, you can play the tonic key harmonic minor scale over the entire passage. The beauty of the harmonic minor scale is that it can be played over several related chords and serve multiple functions. So if you look at the diagram chart I have coming up for you right now, you notice there's a D minor 7 flat 5, G7 flat 9 going to a C minor major 7. And it's basically one C harmonic minor scale being used for all 3 chords. It works really, really well. Okay, step 2. The harmonic minor scale can be used on blues also. You can make the harmonic minor scale the same as the tonic over the 5/7 chord. Okay, let's take a look at an example coming up. I put this together specifically in mind where it would have particular type of chords that would help us to cover through the first 7 or 8 chapters. You notice I have the chords written out. I have the suggested modes written out, corresponding scales written out. And I also have a rudimentary sketch of an improv written out, just something I threw together, trying to use a variety of different techniques so you can get a real idea how these chords and these scales work together. So as you look at it and you listen to my example, by no means think this is the only way to do this, because there are unlimited ways to do this depending upon what scales you decide to use. For these chords, there are multiple scales, multiple ways to do it. Just sit back and enjoy and listen. Okay, now let's look at my analysis in more detail. In measure 1, I used D Ionian minor, but you could also use D blues or even one of the first modes of either melodic or harmonic minor. In measure 2, I used the B-flat Dorian mode of the A-flat major scale. In measure 3, for the E7 flat 5 chord, I used E blues. For measure 4, I decided to use the A Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13 scale, 5th mode, D harmonic minor. In measure 5, I went back to D Ionian or D blues. In measure 6, I used the B-flat Dorian mode of the A-flat major scale. In measure 7, I used the E diminished scale for the E diminished chord. For the A7 flat 13 chord, I used the A Mixolydian flat 6 melodic minor. In measure 8, I used D Mixolydian. In measure 9, I used B Locrian N13 harmonic minor mode 2 for the B minor 7 flat 5 chord, and I used the E Mixolydian for the E7. In measure 10, I used A Aeolian for the A minor 7 chord. In measure 11, once again, I used the E Locrian N13 harmonic minor mode 2 for the E minor 7 flat 5 chord. I used D harmonic minor scale for the A7 flat 9 chord. In measure 11, I used the E Locrian N13 harmonic minor mode 2 for the E minor 7 flat 5 chord. I used D harmonic minor scale for the A7 flat 9 chord. In measure 12, I used A Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13 D harmonic minor for the A7 flat 9 sharp 5 chord. In measure 13, I used the D minor Ionian or D blues scale. In measure 14, I used again B Dorian of the A-flat major scale. In measure 15, I used E Locrian N13 mode 3 of the harmonic minor scale for the E minor 7 flat 5 chord. In measure 16, I used the D Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13 D harmonic minor scale over the A7 sharp 5 flat 9 chord because it is the same as the host key of D. In measure 17, I used the D minor Ionian mode. In measure 18, I used the G harmonic minor scale over the D7 flat 9 because it is the same as the host key of G major. In measure 19, I used G Dorian. In measure 20, I used A Mixolydian. In measure 21, I used D minor Ionian or D blues. In measure 22, again, I used B-flat Dorian. In measure 23, you could use E blues or E Locrian N13-2 of the harmonic minor. In measure 24, I used A Mixolydian flat 9 flat 13 D harmonic minor because it is the same as the host key of D major. And for measure 25 to the end, I used D minor or D blues. When you purchased this course, you were also given a link to download the PDF practice music and backing tracks for the song from my website, jazzbook.com, spelled JAZZBK.com.